everyone, this is Fantasy-esque, and welcome back to Season 2 of Royal Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, I think we had some healing and focusing on inner peace. This episode is slightly in the same vein, although we do have some more scuffles from last time. So, let us go ahead and continue with the story of these cats. We are currently in Greenleaf, the first turn of Greenleaf, and it is Moon 87. Jumping into the Leader's Den, we have all of our wonderful alliances maintained by Queen Rainstar. On to events. Foxclaw was climbing a tree when he fell. Luckily, he was only bruised by the incident, so we do have a bruising, some scuffling happening over here with another cat. It's climbing a tree and falling. And then Freezefur can walk and move without pain. His sprain must have healed. Well, that's good, because I think he's been sitting out the last couple of patrols. But then he got Fleas, which, I mean, doesn't affect patrols, but Fleas? Really, Freezefur? Really? We don't want, like, a flea incident happening in camp. Like, that's not going to be good. That would be very irritating for the cats, I think. But just, there's just like a few minor things happening within the clan. So, okay, everyone, aside from that, thankfully seems to be in good spirits, which means our flea-ridden cats can actually head out on patrols. Let's check up on the medicine cat den. Oh, nothing's going on? Icicle spec? Like nothing? Our royal physician has no work, guys. So maybe this is good. We need some work for the royal physician. Okay, let's check up relationships. Garlic Glow goes out of her way to help Scorchmoss with something without being asked. Inkfeather gave Scorchmoss a gift that doesn't make sense. Scorchmoss goes out of her way to catch Flailstorm's favorite prey. Okay, so these two are spending some time together, which is good now that they're mated. But I think we talked about this before. I feel like Scorchmoss gives more in this relationship with Flailstorm and is more genuine. Even though Flailstorm is the one who made their relationship official, I feel like he's just chasing the attention that Scorchmoss gives him. It feels very one-sided. And I can see it, even now, because Scorchmoss is the one initiating this. Anyways, Icicle Speck and Flailstorm share little secrets about themselves. Icicle Speck notices one of his friends talking to Freezefur. Flarefreckle seems respectful of Flailstorm's boundaries of late. Ghostfeather gives Flailstorm a big piece of fresh kill. Flailstorm promises Scorchmoss to always be there to protect her with his life. I mean, that's great, but I don't believe him. I don't think he has any other romances with anyone going on. It's just like him and Scorchmoss. But I don't know, with the way he's behaved throughout, all the moons that they've known each other, especially in the aftermath of Magpie, even to an extent how he treated Magpie, I don't really believe Flailstorm when he says a lot of things because he is childish. I feel like he makes promises without thinking things through. Quillrunner surprises Shining Stripe with something nice. Cinnamon Paw vents about something trivial to Shining Stripe. Flarefreckle tells Queen Rainstar, romantic stories of old? Oh no. Oh no. Whenever we have romantic stories in the mix, it means some feelings are gonna follow. And I don't know if I want Flarefreckle falling for Rainstar, because Rainstar and Shining Stripe are going good right now and we want a litter from them. I don't want them getting distracted by all the cats. Flarefreckle confesses something to Foxclaw. Bearpelt and Shining Stripe giggle over something silly, so these two brothers are spending time together. Cinnamon Paw says he hopes Bearpelt has a nice day. Inkfeather thinks Scorchmoss is being thoughtful of others. Cinnamon Paw and Inkfeather have a misunderstanding that makes them grumpy for the rest of the day. Quillrunner heard a story about something kind Scorchmoss did. Cinnamon Paw follows through on a small promise made with Quillrunner. Frostfade and Scorchmoss keep trying to figure out what a bad smell in camp is. Frostfade and Riverpaw accidentally startle one another. Foxclaw is talking with Frostfade. Foxclaw and Bearpelt take a nap together. Ghostfeather wishes he could get his pelt to shine like Cinnamon Paws. Freezefur saw Scorchmoss the other day and did get a chance to meow hello. Garlic Glow defends Scorchmoss in conversations. Whenever Quillrunner's name is mentioned, Garlic Glow relaxes. Garlic Glow and Icicle Speck had a fight over if they would take a new mate if one of them died or went missing. I don't think Garlic Glow and Icicle Speck have ever had a fight. At least not over something like this. if I'm remembering correctly, and these are our two soulmates as well, so wow. I wonder why suddenly they started talking about this, because their relationship has always been really strong. Queen Rainstar is sharing a piece of fresh kill with Freezefur. Queen Rainstar chats with Ghostfeather while grabbing something to eat. Cinnamon Paw notices one of his friends laughing with Queen Rainstar. Riverpaw always wants to say hello to Icicle Speck, his father, first thing in the morning. That is so cute. And that is all we have for events. So let's wrap up over here and move on to the cat list. Okay, let's continue with the cat list. So a quick reminder on our loyalties over here. Now, there were a couple things I noticed in terms of relationships for us to go through. The first thing was with Queen Rainstar. Now, she has actually had a new romance, or she has started a new romance with Flare Freckle. I was worried about this because Flare Freckle, I think, was telling her like stories of old, like romance stories of old, and I was thinking to myself that there might be some, interest that they start showing towards each other because of that, because, romantic stories gets you in the mood. Now, I feel like with Rainstar, maybe because her relationship with Shining Stripe, like the love they have is still pretty new, and a lot of it is hinging on, the expectations the clan has of them in terms of having a new litter. I think when she looks at someone like Flare Freckle, someone who's playful and also one of the most beautiful cats in the clan, Rainstar can't help but kind of be pulled towards her and can't help but enjoy being in her company. I mean, Flare Freckle is Shining Stripe's younger sister, so I imagine Flare Freckle was maybe just being nice to Rainstar because, it's her brother's mate, a brother who she's close to, so maybe she was just trying to entertain her brother's mate, and then the entertainment ended up becoming a whole different sort of ambience. So there was that. The next thing I noticed was with Garlic Glow. Garlic Glow actually had a romance lost with her mate Icicle Speck, who she is soulmates with. I feel like once cats get the title of soulmates, you can't take it back. It makes sense, right? You need to, once you attain that level, even if you have changes in your relationship, you will forever be known as the cats who are soulmates. So anyways, these two soulmates had their first, I feel like, major hiccup. Maybe after all these moons of super stability, Garlic Glow is looking at her growing sons and she's starting to question how stable their relationship is without those sons in the picture. And as those sons are growing up, how much of what she has with Icicle Speck kind of hinges on her own children. Maybe she's looking at the way the clan is expecting things of the new queen and about how she was the new queen when, she had her own sons. And I don't know, there might be a parallel going on there in her mind between those two things. So that's what we have with Garlic Glow. And the interesting thing is, from Icicle Speck's perspective, he still has max love for her. Nothing has changed for him. It is just Garlic Glow thinking of all these things in her own head. The next thing I noticed was with Flare Freckle. No surprise, she has also begun a new romance with, where is she? Queen Rainstar, who before this point, she's still not friends with Rainstar, anything like that. In fact, they're not really in each other's circle, so I am even more confident of the fact that Flare Freckle was just being nice to Rainstar because Rainstar is her older brother's mate. And then, unexpectedly, they kind of hit things off more than she expected, right? So I think that's maybe what's going on there. It wasn't intentional, but there were some sparks perhaps. The next thing I noticed was with Foxclaw. Foxclaw has had a romance gain with Bear Pelt, this very flirtatious cat. I feel like Foxclaw is unable to resist Bear Pelt's shamelessness and persistence and charms, unlike his brother Ghostfeather, who cleanly cut things off when he felt like it was getting a bit too far, and he was getting a bit annoyed with Bear Pelt's constant flirtation with both Ghostfeather and Foxclaw. So yeah, Ghostfeather could draw the line. I don't think Foxclaw can. And in this episode, sorry, I'm on the wrong cat. I jumped to the wrong cat. In this episode, I'm pretty sure that Foxclaw and Bearpelt, they actually took a nap together. And I have a feeling that Bearpelt definitely initiated that. He probably walked over to Foxclaw's nest and just plopped himself down and decided to, spend the night there. And Foxclaw, he's a sneaky cat. He kind of gets thrilled by these sneaky bits of romance that Bearpelt throws his way. The next thing I noticed, and the final thing, was with Flailstorm, who has had a romance gain for Scorched Moss. And we know that's because she found his favorite prey and brought it back for him to eat. And honestly, I feel like Flailstorm is just being happy and satisfied with the attention he's getting from Scorched Moss and the effort she's putting in. I almost feel like she's mothering him. And, he's just happy to have her attention that way. But I don't know how much of his own genuine emotions he's putting into this. It feels a lot like his taking. But anyways, that aside, that's what we have going on for the relationships. Let us jump to Inkfeather and see if we can have a nice matchmaking session between Rainstar, Queen Rainstar, and Shining Stripe. Okay, so trust, respect, and platonic like has increased. Jealousy has decreased. I guess these two, Rainstar most definitely is a little bit distracted, I think, right now with Flare Freckle. And that's probably why she isn't kind of being present romantically in the matchmaking session. And Shining Stripe, I don't think he's the type of cat who is going to be overly persistent if Rainstar's not in the mood. So, he's having a nice conversation with her, but he's not really pushing anything. Okay, let's see what all the cats are doing for the day. Queen Rainstar would never wish to return to her old kitty pet life. Garlic Glow is considering a unique approach to organizing patrols. Okay. Icicle Speck is craving the taste of shrew. Inkfeather is humming a tune she heard near a two-leg place. Shining Stripe can't wait to take a nap later. Flare Freckle is regretting not going to sleep earlier. Bearpelt doesn't want to go on dawn patrol. Quill Runner saw a pair of two legs near camp today. Frostfade wants to train. Foxclaw saw a pair of two legs near camp today. So Foxclaw and Quill Runner are spending time together. They're hanging out together. Let's see. Ghost Feather doesn't want to go on dust patrol. Hold on a second. Okay, Dawn Patrol and Dust Patrol. Right, two different cats we have going on. Freezefur has no time for new harebrained hunting techniques. Cinnamon Paw had a pointless petty argument with his brother Riverpaw. But why Cinnamon Paw? No. We don't want you arguing with your younger brother. Actually, guys, didn't we see... It must have been in the last episode, I think. Unless I'm misremembering. I feel like someone caused a fight between Cinnamon Paw and his brother. Not too long ago. Who was it? Was it their mother? Was it Garlic Glow? It says there's no relationship logs. I don't know why I feel like Garlic Glow. I don't know why. I feel like someone, I can't remember who the heck, but Garlic Glow's like the only troublesome one. So, I don't know, but I feel like someone caused a fight between these two youngsters, and I can't remember who it was. I have it in my head for some reason that someone caused a fight between the brothers. Am I misremembering? Anyways, Riverpaw has a hard time keeping up with his training. Oh, Riverpaw. And I know that his brother is really talented and has been quite ahead of him these past couple of moons. And I wonder if that petty argument has something to do with the training. Scorched Moss doesn't seem to notice another cat roll their eyes as she complains about her aching joints, again. And Flailstorm spends the day collecting trinkets around camp for kids to play with. Oh, that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. Maybe he's doing this in preparation for, new kittens that might join them at some point, hopefully. Maybe it's an encouragement to, the queen and her mate. Look at all these toys I'm collecting for your children, should you have them. But I wonder if Riverpaw was telling Cinnamon Paw that, this bit of training is really hard, but Cinnamon Paw, who's more talented, maybe doesn't see what's so hard about it, and so they had an argument over maybe Riverpaw being overly dramatic or something. But let's go ahead and check up to see the rankings and how our brothers are doing. Yep, Cinnamon Paw is still ahead of River Paw. Quite consistent with the way he's been performing. He's got 28 experience and his brother has 17. Oh my goodness. River Paw is like really far behind. And I feel like maybe his nervousness sometimes like gets in the way of that. He kind of freaks himself out and is not able to do certain maneuvers properly. But oh, River Paw, I'm so sorry. Oh, that makes me feel sad. But okay, that is all we have for the cat list. Let's wrap up over here and move on to patrols. Oh my goodness, I forgot how much prey we have. We have so much prey. Okay, we're continuing with patrols. We currently have 235 prey and we only need 40. My goodness, my goodness. But let's send out Icicle Spec, our medicine cat, our rural physician. Jeez, our rural physician first off. See what he gets up to. Icicle Spec has finally put enough time aside to go search for time. Proceed. It calms racing hearts and minds, bringing cats back from the shock of loss or injury. Time is always both helpful and pleasant to have around, and Icicle Spec makes sure to organize the herb store so that the scent wafts near his nest. So time was gathered, and then we have our patrols. So I wonder how the mentors are going to decide the patrols this time around. I'm curious, but also I know that the Queen's right hand, Garlic Glow, had kind of different ideas, like a new way she wanted to set out patrols. So I wonder what input she might have aside from the apprentices, which the mentors will decide. I wonder how she's going to fill up the rest of the numbers. But we're going to have 2 patrols of 6. Yeah. So first up, okay, we have Shining Stripe, Bear Pelt, Ghost Feather, Flare Freckle, Foxclaw, and Freeze Fur. Okay, so Freeze Fur has apparently decided that he wants Frostfade to help supervise, Riverpaw's training. Maybe Freeze Fur is hoping that Riverpaw might be able to kind of see the way Cinnamon Paw does things with Frostfade, and he might be able to like catch up to his brother a little bit because he's falling behind, and then maybe report back to Freeze Fur to see how he's going, which is fine. But okay, this is what we have first up. Let's send out our first patrol. As the patrol is marking the borderlines, a gang of rogues burst from the bushes and ambush. Proceed. The patrol descends into battle without a second thought, eventually driving the rogues away. Okay, so our patrol is fine. We are okay. This ambush was not a dangerous one. You know what? I feel like recently the ambushes we've come across, at least in this season of Royal Clan, haven't been deadly. I don't know what it was about the ambushes that were happening in Luminous Clan. I think it was like season 2 of Luminous Clan, but like every single ambush was so deadly. But these ones, it's like I have a fear of ambushes instilled in me, but I don't have to worry anymore because the last couple of ones have been okay. Anyways, next up we have Garlic Glow, Cool Runner, River Paw, Queen Rainstar, Cinnamon Paw, and Frostfade who are going out. Okay, as the patrol is marking the borderlines, a gang of rogues strides out of the brush, challenging the clan cats. Proceed. Cinnamon Paw takes the lead, confronting the gang with confidence. Eventually, the rogues admit that they've been struggling to find enough prey and were looking to steal richer territory from the clan. Tensions are eased when Cinnamon Paw informs the rogues of prey-rich plains outside of Royal Clan territory. Look at him. Not only is he really, really talented, but he seems to be very quickly developing the sort of skill set that can stand up to these rogues. And once more, I feel so bad, but I feel like River Paw is kind of in the shadow of his older and, more talented brother. River Paw. I really hope you're able to make your mark in some way going forward. But okay, that is what we managed to get up to today, guys. I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.